Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!
Is it too soon for vodka? Not really. Welcome back to the Jenny McCarthy Show. I'm so excited. You guys know how much I was a huge fan of Carol Burnett. I've talked about it in the book. The show was my crack TV growing up. I loved watching it. And of course, Vicki Lawrence, I thought was just as funny and beautiful. And I wanted to be her. And now she's on my show. Hi, Vicki Lawrence.
Hi. How are you?
So geeking out. That's right.
It's never vodka and orange juice early.
I'm a vodka and cranberry kind of girl, too.
Okay.
The Cool Kids, I'm so happy for you. This is a show. It premieres this Friday on Fox at 8:30 p.m. Tell us about the show, The Cool Kids.
The Cool Kids is it's set in a retirement community. And it's basically high school with 70-year-olds.
It's about time.
It's Leisure World shenanigans, if you will. Leslie Jordan is calling it the Golden Girls on Crack.
I'm so glad because I felt like we missed that. No one was representing the older generation of what shit that's just being funny.
Yeah.
You know, people don't know
silly.
this, but in Hollywood, you know, if you don't have that, it's not even in Hollywood, anything in the media, if you don't have that perfect age demo, which is like, 25 to 45, if you don't hit that audience, they don't pay attention to you in Hollywood.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Jenny. The older folks are the ones with the disposable income. And a lot of those 25-year-olds are back at home living with the old folks.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So they're going to use whatever we buy them. So
I agree. I'm always like, don't the marketing people know that?
I don't get it. What don't they know? And we're boomers. I try new stuff all the time, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're so funny.
Target me, please.
There's some big names in the show. Can you talk about?
Oh my God. You know what? I just feel like I'm on an incredible relay team. I was a fan of all of these guys, did not know any of them. David Alan Greer.
Amazing.
Martin Mull. And Leslie Jordan.
Wow.
I feel like any one of us could take the baton to the finish line, and none of us wants to drop the baton. So we're all on our toes. We're all trying to make each other laugh.
Do you guys
just
improvise?
Having a blast. We improvise in rehearsals, but the writers are very sure what they love. Once in a while, they'll take one of our ideas. Once in a great while, but
I've been with those writers.
Pretty sure. Well, and Charlie Day is our creator, executive producer. I did not know Charlie. I had never seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and my husband's like, hello, horrible bosses. Hello, fist fight.
I know, it was amazing.
Honey. I mean, he's just a silly, crazy, funny guy.
Totally.
And I'm hoping he's going to make us silly, crazy, funny, always sunny old people. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, you're used to playing in a, kind of a team comedy type setting. Does it ever feel like, I don't know, competitive on these sets? Or have you always been lucky with people who you work with?
No, I've always been incredibly lucky. I mean, I learned from Carol. I learned at the Harvard School of Comedy, just like from the best teachers in the whole world. And she is just the most giving performer I've ever. The old people on the Burnett Show, when I first started, because I was 18, they used to say to me all the time, "Will you get out into the real world of showbiz, kid? Because this ain't it."
Wow.
She was just so supportive. If she wasn't in a sketch or a bit and something funny happened, the audience started going nuts, she'd be the first person out of her dressing room on the side leading the laughter.
Come on.
No, always. She's just an incredible lady to work for and with.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't wait to pick into that whole world. But I was talking to Hal Linden before you came in here, and just on how you're on a sitcom, yet you're doing the straight lines. And he was saying, it was 7 years of being the straight man on a comedy. People don't realize it actually is an art.
Absolutely. You have to set the ball on the tee before the batter can knock it off. And you have to set it perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Harvey being one of the masters, I would say. Harvey Korman and Hal Linden too. Oh my God, we just had Max Gale came on our show last week, and we're all like, oh my God, Barney Miller. I have a feeling we might get a lot of older actors that are sitting around that are going, yeah, I want to come and play with you.
I think you're absolutely right, because he was still as sharp, and I watched his movie and I'm like, he's got it.
Adorable and a good kisser, I might add.
I haven't gone there yet, but...
Well, I did.
Where did you kiss him?
I did. Margaret had a boyfriend in the episode last week. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
There's a lot going on in the retirement village.
Oh, my God,
you know
love
what I mean,
it
Jenny?
so
There's
much.
a lot of stuff going on. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of hanky-panky. I think I can visualize an entire drug episode, because I'm sure there are lots of drugs in that joint, and we're all swapping.
Especially Veltrex.
Yeah, do you have one of those? And I'll give you 2 of these. And I can see an entire drug episode where everything gets mixed up.
Totally. Oh my God, like a pill party. Bring yours, I'll bring mine. That's kind of genius. You know, I went and pitched to the networks about 4 years ago a retirement community show that, of course, involved lots of sex and, you know, partying, and just like you're talking about. And I'm so glad it came to fruition. They weren't ready for it, but I'm glad they are now. Especially because
I think we're being embraced a little bit more. The older folks. There've been a lot of great movies in the last number of years. Like, you can probably help me because my memory's going.
Oh God, mine's for shit.
No, but I mean like Las Vegas and Bucket List, and what's the new one with all the gals?
That's right.
And you know, it's Something's Got to Give, and
it's way better than me.
It's you know,
they are, and maybe it's because we're living longer.
It's complicated. A lot of older movies finally for the older folks, and we're funny.
And you are, and it's not just, you're not just sitting in a wheelchair watching people's court. Like, this shit is, you guys are funny. Like, you're having sex.
Yeah, somebody tweeted when this show was first picked up, a show about geriatrics has been picked up. I said, excuse me, but we are not geriatric. That's when the gal comes in to feed you your oatmeal.
Right.
And change your diaper. Bless your heart. But we're not geriatric. We're in a, you know, and I go out and play a lot of these retirement communities. I have a one-woman show. So there are a lot of beautiful ones in California and Arizona and Florida, and those folks are not sitting still.
No, they're not.
They've got their money in their back pocket, and they're fixed. Most of them have been neutered, so you don't have to worry about babies.
My dad is in his 70s, and he's never been more of a slut in his life than he is right now.
Exactly right. Yeah.
I'm like, these baby boomers, you can't. That's why I'm so glad that you're kind of bringing it all to the front.
Yeah.
So let's dive into a little bit more, because I wrote a book back. My first book was called I can't remember, Gen X, and I went into the show, the Carol Burnett Show, so much. I talked about it because it was why I wanted to move to Hollywood. I literally would watch it and watch pretty girls be funny, not take themselves seriously.
Who are you watching?
You, of course, and Carol, and Mama's Family. But I mean, how was it?
Mama was not pretty.
Mama was not pretty, but your comedy timing was genius. And the fact that Carol said, I don't want to be Mama, and gave you that character because she connected more with the other one.
Yeah, I've said yet another gift from Carol.
Totally, because any other people, because I've worked on sets, actors are not that giving.
Well, she just really didn't. The part of Eunice is the one that spoke to her. That poor, pitiful, put upon, you know. And Mama is feisty and sort of, I mean, in those early sketches, mean. She was just downright mean. And so I got that part. But, you know, Harvey said to me many times, he said, you got the part, kiddo. He said, the mother is the nuts and bolts of any family.
Right.
And he said, you got the part.
You did. And I'm telling you, most egoic, not all, but most would still take that character because it's the nuts and bolt. Yeah. Even though they don't connect to it, they'll go, no, this is the lead. I need to be that no matter what.
I kind of connected to it. I guess I have a mean side.
Don't we all?
I have a mean streak. I love to say what I'm thinking.
Tell me about it. I do. David is my punching bag. I'm talking to Vicki Lawrence. The show is called The Cool Kids. It premieres this Friday, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Fox. Oh my God, my tongue is slower than my brain today.
Tell me about it.
Forgive me.
Wait till you get old.
So wait till so when you went, I love this story. So Carol is delivering her baby in the hospital. You get dressed up, and you've only met her once at this point at an audition?
She came to see me in a contest that I was in my hometown of Inglewood at the racetrack, which is now...
She came to see you?
Yeah, it's now being torn down. It's going to be the new Rams Stadium, right? Wow. So it's not even there anymore, Hollywood Park. But that's where she came. That's where I lived. That's where I learned to drive. Dad would take me over to the parking lot at Hollywood Park and teach me how to drive. Yeah, so I wrote her a letter. I said, I'm going to be in this little contest. Everybody says I look like you. She got the letter. She took my dad's name out of the article. She looked us up in the phone book and called me after school and said, I want to come and see this contest.
How amazing.
Hello?
What did you do? Right?
Yeah. I think I was too stupid to even put... I went to the guy that was in charge of the contest. I said, I need 2 seats in the back because she doesn't want to be seen. It's Carol Burnett. Please don't tell anybody. And he's like, yeah, okay. All righty then.
We're so gullible.
She came to see the contest. I won the I was seriously, it was the fireman's ball. I wanted some girls to sing and dance this contest. So we were all dressed up like little can girls. We did a couple of can numbers together, and then we had a little individual talent. I had a guitar and a kazoo hung around my neck, and I sang Bill Bailey, Won't You Please Come Home, and I played the kazoo, and that was my individual talent. And that was pretty special. I won.
Smoke circles.
And then, of course, this guy that said he would, get the tickets but not say anything, got up on stage and said, we have a very special guest in our audience tonight. And I'm thinking, great way to ruin my career before it ever even gets off the ground. Anyway, she was very sweet. She came up on the stage. She crowned me with a golden fire helmet.
Oh, my God.
We took a picture with the mayor. She was very pregnant. She was in this butt-ugly black turban, a big, huge red cape. I'm in the gold fire helmet.
What an awful-looking photo.
With the mayor. Oh, it's a hysterical photo. And she disappeared from my life. So I came home from school like a couple of months later, and they announced on the radio that she'd had the baby. And so I went to the hospital to see her.
That is unbelievable.
I know. Nowadays I would be arrested for being a stalker.
It's true.
It is true.
But true. We have such we're so what's the word? Innocent when we're starting out or younger. Mm-hmm. We haven't been damaged yet by Hollywood. And so you going there thinking very innocently, like, I'm going to go see her. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
But how sweet of her. Well, actually, she didn't have any choice. I walked up to the nurse's station. I said, I'm here to see Miss Burnett. I actually used her married name because I thought, well, they'll be impressed if I know her married name. So I said, I'm here to see Mrs. Hamilton. And the nurses looked up. They said, oh, my God, you must be your sister, Chrissy. Wait till you see her. Wait till you see the baby. They took me right into her room. Mm-hmm.
What was her first expression when you walked in?
She was so sweet. She laughed. She said, I promise I have not forgotten you. And she said, I'm going to call as soon as I get my tummy back. I'm going to give you a call. Oh. And a couple months after that, I got a call to come down to CBS. And would I care to audition to play her sister in this show?
Wow, that is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. How would you describe those years besides being the best years of your life, possibly?
Well, I feel like that's where I went to college.
Yeah.
That's where I got my degree. I think it was Leslie just a few weeks ago who said when I first came to Hollywood, I had graduated with a theater degree. And he said, I just couldn't get the timing on jokes. It was like ba-ding, ba-dang, ba-doom. And I couldn't get it. He said, and you are brilliant at it. And I said, well, I had really good teachers. Right. And that was my degree.
And you were born with it. Let's give yourself some credit.
Well, I don't know if I was quite born with the ba-ding, ba-dang, ba-doom, but I listened well. I got it by osmosis.
How great were your laughing attacks on that show?
I don't think I did that as much as everybody else because I didn't really feel I'd earned the right.
Really?
You know what I mean? I felt like I was the kid and they were all seasoned veterans and I hadn't really earned the right to show off like that.
That is very interesting in my world of psychology that I love so much.
Yeah.
That you didn't feel like you had the right to have laughing attacks. I totally get it.
No, and I didn't until Mama came along. And then I kind of, it's a really famous blooper. I'm sure everybody in the world has seen the blooper of the elephant story on YouTube.
Yes.
We were doing a family, when Tim Conway got written into the family sketches, Carol pulled us all aside and she said, now listen to me. You know how much I love these characters. You know how serious I am about these sketches. I do not want us breaking the fourth wall. Let us have some discipline. Because how Tim was. She was like very serious about it. So, okay, I'm going to go with that. So he that was like maybe the second or third sketch that he'd been written into. He'd been doing it for a while, and we had been pretty disciplined. And he comes out with we were playing Password. He comes out with the elephant story he launches off into the elephant story about the two elephants with their trunks joined together. And they couldn't go like the other elephants, and he was doing the whole long story. Who's the first person that falls apart? Carol.
Of course.
Falls apart, and she's sitting next to me on the sofa, and she's got her head in my face, and she's got tears coming down her eyes. And I'm like, for God's sake, get a grip.
You know what? She was probably reminding you guys to remind herself.
Said. Anyway, we used to do 2 shows in front of a live audience. Show 1 was like at 4:15. Then we'd have a dinner break. You get your makeup. You'd get notes from the director. And then we do the second show about 7:30. So the director comes by my dressing room that night, knocks on the door. He says, I only have 1 note tonight. The elephant story will be different, and good luck.
Oh, no.
And I said, by now I'm married to my husband, who was the makeup man on the Burnett Show.
Oh, I didn't know.
And he was sitting in my dressing room, and I said, damn it, Al. I said, how does he get away with it? And Al looked at me and he said, get him. And I went, oh, my God. So I'm not sure if it was, I think it might have been Al that unleashed that crazy person that night, who, during the second show, when the elephant story was indeed different and Carol fell apart again, and she kept saying, go on, Mama, go ahead, go on, go on, go on. I finally said, are you sure that little asshole's finished?
Oh, my God, that's right. David, do you have it by chance?
So yes, and everybody fell apart, and I think it's probably, to this day, the biggest blooper ever on the Carol
Burnett
Burnett Show.
I think I've seen it a few times. If David has the button. And okay, let me listen.
Go on, Mama. Sure that little asshole's through?
That's so great.
Yep, I got him.
Do you still talk to Carol? Are you guys still buddies?
Oh my God, yes. I just saw her recently. For her, we went and we kind of celebrate our birthdays together because mine's March 26th, she's April 26th. So somewhere in there we usually get together. So that's the last time I've actually seen her. I have been writing her, emailing like crazy because of this new show. I'm like, my God, I haven't done a series since the 80s, and this schedule, and
right.
I need some Geritol. Whatever happened to Geritol? She said, she said, what did happen to Geritol? I said, I don't know. I think now it's Red Bull and vodka. She said, back in the day, she said it was aspirin and Coke. And I said, oh my God.
No way.
I know. I got to get into the Red Bull now. Aspirin and Coke.
I want to know what Geritol is, for real.
Oh, Geritol was like this pick-me-up for old people back in the day. I don't know whatever happened to it. I have no idea. Now that I need it, it's gone. It probably morphed into Red Bull. I don't know.
You're right. You're right. I've had Carol on the show. I've been lucky enough to interview her, and I did bring up the Me Too movement and, what she thought of it, and did she have to deal with anything? What did she think? She said that she never had to deal with anything like that, fortunately, when she was kind of coming up in Hollywood.
Really?
She was really grateful that women are speaking up, of course,
yes.
and, having a voice and being taken seriously. Did you have to experience any of the Me Too casting bullshit?
Well, not casting so much because I was, how lucky I was. But I did a talk show in the 90s where I would say that was my Me Too. That was my Me Too moment because I worked for a not nice man. It wasn't sexual harassment, but it was verbal. Oh. And it was just, I so related to that Linda Bloodworth article last week in the paper when she was talking about that all harassment is not sexual.
Amen. That's so true.
Yeah, so that was my time. And it wouldn't happen now, is the nice thing. Somebody would listen to me now,
That's true.
So things are changing. It's funny when people think things have not changed a lot. I'm like, you know what? I got laid off for being pregnant on the Carol Burnett Show because back in the day, pregnancy fell under the deformity clause.
I got fired. I was fired from ABC for being pregnant with Evan. They called me disabled.
Oh, it went under the deformity clause in my contract.
Isn't that nuts?
And this was right back during the time, for those people who are old enough to remember, that Lynn Redgrave was on a show called House Calls. She asked for a dressing room, a private dressing room that would be big enough that she could bring in her new baby and nurse the baby. And she was fired.
I mean, that is so messed up.
I know things have changed.
So things have changed. You're right. Because I think about the fact that there's no way I would have been fired now for being pregnant. And my lawyers literally had the phone call.
You'd be naked on the cover of Life magazine, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember the phone call was like, okay, you can, they're firing you and they're putting you under disabled. I'm like, how can being pregnant be disabled? Mm-hmm. And you were deformity. I mean.
I was deformed. Well, I was kind of deformed, but.
I gained 85 pounds.
Oh, so. How do you do? I gained 84 pounds.
Really?
Yes. And I barely managed to get it off before I got pregnant the second time, and I gained almost the same amount. Dear God, I was like a blimp.
I mean, it was my invitation to eat anything and everything, and I loved every second of it.
I'm eating for 2.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to lose?
Oh, God. Well, I had to lose fast. I went on that liquid protein fast.
You
know when everybody was dying? Do you remember when people were dying on the liquid protein fast? I did that, but I was really good. I would go to the doctor twice a week and check in, and so I had to lose fast.
Oprah?
No,
Oprah
this is pre-Oprah. Dear God, this was in the 70s.
Then I don't know what that is.
No, it was a liquid protein fast. You can look it up. I was on the cover of People magazine. They were checking in to see if people were dying from it. Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember why they were dying? Because I could see myself actually going to look how to do it.
You starve yourself and your body starts eating your own fat to survive, and you have to make really sure that you don't go too far into ketosis, and it's
So it's almost like a ketosis diet that we're doing now.
Yeah. Oh, I heard the other day from somebody on our crew that they just did the women's pregnant ladies urine diet. She was talking about injecting herself every morning. I said, wait, is this the pregnant ladies urine diet? Because I did that one too. I've done every diet in the whole world. Yeah, I was shooting myself with, I don't know what. There's some hormone in the urine that makes you eat your body fat or something.
Why were you so...
Because a pregnant woman cannot starve to death. It's not physically possible or something. I don't know.
Why did you feel so much pressure to lose the weight?
Because how tiny is Carol? Hello? And I had to get back to work and, not be deformed anymore.
You know what? We could say it's a different time now, too, for that.
Yeah, and oh my God, I was over 200 pounds, and the baby came out, and she was only 9 pounds, and I went, damn, well, now what am I going to do?
Right.
Only so much of that can be water weight gain.
It's so true. I purposely scheduled a bikini shoot just a year later, a year to the date, so I made sure I got down to that.
Yes.
But it's that pressure of having to look skinny. I'm so glad I live in the Midwest now, so I can eat whatever the fuck I want.
That's why I married a guy from Wisconsin. He doesn't care.
You totally get it. Vicki Lawrence, I'm so excited for this show. The Cool Kids premieres this Friday. Maybe I can come on it sometime.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be something? You'd drive all the guys nuts. What would happen? Margaret wouldn't like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I could be the new nurse that maybe.
Oh my God. Yeah, good idea.
I do have experience. They can look at some tape. I was Christopher Walken's nurse. That was my first film, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. And I had to play his live-in nurse because he was, old and fragile and smelled like formaldehyde. So I'd be really good at the
will
job.
pitch it. It's going to be silly. Whatever it is, it'll be silly.
I think you're amazing, and congratulations on everything. And I just think you're so great. So come back anytime, please.
Thank you so much.
Check out the Cool Kids.
Talk to you.
You too. Premieres this Friday, you guys, 8:30, 9 p.m. Fox. Thanks, Vicki Lawrence.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!